Bosko may not be my favourite Warner Brothers character, but I have to say, writing Bosko was actually pretty alright. This is a 1932 cartoon directed by Hugh Harman, and we have a great voice cast, including Rochelle Hudson, who plays Honey, and Johnny Murray as Bosko. We also have some live action bits as well, which I hadn't expected, and sometimes I feel like breaking out of the cartoon and bringing in live action can be done very clunkily. I don't think that's a word, but actually it didn't feel too bad and I quite liked it. So that's something that's worth watching it for. I felt like it had a pretty smooth transition that made a modicum of sense. But the main bulk of it is this cartoon, and it's set in the Wild West, of course, and it starts off quite merrily with Bosko riding along on his horse, and we have some jolly music. She'll be coming around the mountain features quite heavily. And there's this gorgeous scene where we're looking out at the saloon and there are silhouettes dancing in the window, and it's just so beautifully done, and the movement of the silhouettes is gorgeous. And then once Bosco gets to the saloon and dismounts his horse and goes inside, pretty much after that things start to get a little bit more violent, gunfire starts to happen more frequently, and the intensity increases, and it transitions from jolly fun with upbeat music to a bit of a chase scene with some horses with the best facial expressions. They have the most entertaining facial expressions of any cartoon horse I've ever seen. And I have to say that that worked really well. I'm not the biggest fan of, shoot 'em ups, even though I'm a big fan of westerns, which I feel like is a bit of a contradiction actually. But it worked very well. There are so many bullets flying everywhere, but the animation is so smooth and it just transitions from scene to scene really effectively. The music changes at a steady rate to take us through the different emotions of the cartoon, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. Not my favourite Warner Brothers cartoon, but it might be one of my favourite Boscos, which I realise is maybe not saying too much, because I'm not the biggest Bosco fan. But writing Bosco was actually pretty decent, with some really good strong points, some really good strong bits of animation as well, and a narrative that flowed at a reasonable pace that was relatively interesting. I certainly didn't mind it.